How do you think people can get into big brands like Superdrug without maybe having those brands on there? Like, is it really important people come from those industries? I feel like brands are key.
Brands are key. Well, brands are key or known entities. And then
Yeah.
after that, it's the skill set.
It's more attitude and what
Yeah.
they've done
Yeah.
as well. I know that sounds
It's
corny, but
grit.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
Grit.
Yeah, so I used to work for Virgin back in Dublin, and then built an in-house creative and media team at Pepsi for a couple of years, and then over at Superdrug.
Retail media, or even just Superdrug, you think? Where do you think it's going?
Everyone wants a bigger team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. Maybe I'm too nice.
Okay, and what about like the opportunities? You said you were like, there's so much opportunity in like retail media, or even just Superdrug, you think? Where do you think it's going? Like some of the opportunities, everyone says, oh, AI maybe, but I feel like that's probably not one. What do you think at the moment? Like, of course, you're talking about more investment and things like that. And
Yeah, well, investment not really, right? So kind of like they kind of like when anything kind of like this, you'd want like bigger. Everyone wants a bigger team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. Like your kind of traditional things that would be kind of part of day to day in any role. But I suppose kind of like where the industry is moving is to that in-store retail media opportunity
Yeah.
as well. Like, so we have almost 800 stores, so it'd be remiss
wow.
of us not to
Yeah.
focus on that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, fair.
Yeah.
And go back to Pepsi, because Pepsi, I love Pepsi.
I
love-
a lot. That's a
No,
good
actually, Walker's
plug,
Crisps.
yeah.
I like Walker's Crisps.
You do?
I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Walker's
yeah.
Crisps. But obviously, they've got big name personalities like Messi. Do you think that brands still need? I know we're going off the retail media side of things, but I'm always interested about Pepsi as a whole. They have those huge partnerships and relationships with people like Messi. Do you think brands still need them? Is it still relevant nowadays?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's not that you need, you don't just go and get a celebrity just for the sake of it. You've got to
Yeah.
do a lot of work to.
strategic plan, yeah.
Exactly. Like, you like with anything, you're kind of like, does this person align with our brand?
Yeah.
Does it align with our brand values? Will this person sort of like help accelerate growth? And can we go on a journey with them? Like Walker's is a good example. Like Gary Lineker, 20 years or
It's
more.
more than 20 years.
Something like that, yeah.
Wasn't Michael Owen part of it for a while? Then he dipped into
Maybe they've had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
celebrities that, like Roy Keane was in one of the ads, and like
Yeah.
they've always had kind of like
Yeah.
Gary plus a celebrity over
Plus
the
a-
year as well.
yeah.
Yeah, like obviously Messi is like a key celebrity for Pepsi, and he does some Lay's work as well. So you know, they work, right? And yeah, I mean, it's not that you have to just go to your. You don't have to have a celebrity.
Yeah, but it helps.
It helps.
Yeah.
yeah. Especially like someone like Messi.
Like big guy Messi. Yeah. He's so good.
yeah.
One of the things you mentioned earlier was, this is something we've been talking about, you know, people searching for jobs. So you talked about going to the guy on Twitter, messaging him and just going, hey, what's up? Let's have a coffee. So
Yeah.
how important has that been in your career in terms of networking, reaching out to people? And what advice could you give to people who are literally job searching at the moment, who aren't doing that and just literally scrolling LinkedIn?
Yeah, people that want a job at
with their
Superdrug.
fingers crossed.
yeah. Well, networking is
Yeah.
super important, right? So kind of like think about it is like you never know who you made a good impression on. Really,
that's a
like
good-
so you
that's a good
kind of
point.
like you might not have directly worked with someone or something like that, but someone will reach out. Like I get so many people reaching out saying like, "Can you help this?" or "Can you introduce me to that person?" And like, oh, I don't remember kind of working with you that well as well,
Yeah.
or they might kind of like speak
Yeah.
highly of you to someone else, and you're like, I never really
Spoke to
kind of
them.
like which is good.
Yeah.
So network is kind of like it's a tough one because like some people kind of like are afraid of networking, right? Because it doesn't necessarily
We hear that.
Tarnishing
People are
your own
scared of
brand.
networking.
People
Yeah.
are scared about
It-
their own brand. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't mean going to all the events and kind of like
Just cherry pick.
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean kind of like selling yourself out as well. Like it's just basically just kind of like building relationships, and those relationships could be for something that you, and not necessarily something that you need something.
Yeah.
It's just to stay, you know, on top of different things as well, you know, just to stay on top of things, right? Yeah.
How do you think people can get into big brands like Superdrug without, you know, without maybe having those brands on there? Like, is it really important people come from those industries? Or what do you think is crucial
You
in
mentioned
finding a role?
you're like an agency candidate, people from agency, so
Well,
that's not
yeah,
big brand per se.
well, yeah, like there's certain criteria you always look for as well. I suppose kind of like for the junior brands, you're just looking for someone that is hungry, right? So
Yeah.
a junior
Yeah.
manager, you're like
Yeah.
someone who's hungry, they can mold, they can train, they will be like,
Yeah.
you know, really into it and take them on that journey. Then as you get into going kind of more senior roles, it's like, there's a bit of kind of like, I generally don't really kind of look for the brands that they've worked. It's more attitude and what they've done
Yeah.
as well. I know that sounds
It's
corny, but
grit.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
Grit.
Yeah.
But like the brands sort of do get them there as well. So it's kind
Yeah.
of, it's not like
It's
a
like me,
catch-22.
if you're on a CV
Yeah.
and you do this when you
What
look at
do I do?
CVs, you're like, brands are key.
Brands are key. Well, brands are key or known entities. And then
Yeah.
after that, it's the skill set. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you often meet someone and you go like, well, definitely the brand will get you so far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then after that,
Gets you in the door.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and after that, then it's like, it's all personality and it's all kind of like culture fit. And it's also kind of like
that's a big thing.
where you now like, what does this role require someone that already knows everything, or is it a role that requires someone that doesn't know everything but definitely has the capability to go into that role as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything like throughout your career, sort of piece of advice that has just stuck with you throughout your career?
I got lots of good advice. The one sort of, I had a really good piece of advice from Ellie Norman, who I used to work with at Virgin, and she's now CMO of Formula E. She was previously at Manchester United and previously at...
That's a cool gig.
Yeah.
Nice.
And she talked to me, I was speaking to her a couple of years ago, and she said, like, what's your red thread? And kind of like, and that will start to define over years as well. Like, so what's the red thread that kind of like connects you along the way, right? And then you
Okay,
just
that's
start to
cool.
look back on
Like
your...
it.
You start to look back in your career as well, like, what is my red thread? So kind of like innovation, kind of like kind of building...
That was just such an
Technical.
amazing one. It exploded my mind. Sorry, keep going.
But kind of what is it that connects you, that keeps you hungry from role to role, and kind of looking backwards, what is it that's gotten you from here to there to there?
Cool.
So that's kind of like
cool.
one thing as well. And another bit as well, kind of like, what's your ikigai? So you know ikigai?
Oh, that's the Japanese
tell me
phrase.
what
Exactly, yeah.
What's the Japanese phrase now? I always forget. What is
There's
it?
a book about it, isn't there?
Yeah,
It's a whole philosophy as well.
Yeah.
Like, so basically, it's the idea of then kind of like there's hopefully I get this right. So like because I've said it now. So
I'll
so
Google
the
it
idea
just in
of like
case.
the ikigai is like getting you. What is a role that you can get paid what you're good for?
Yeah.
Something that the world needs, and something that you can bring value to as well,
Yeah.
right? So those three elements, and in the center of that
That's nice.
is ikigai as well, yeah. So that's the heart, but like that's sort of like Maslowian sort of like self-actualization. Sort
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
right?
It's
So
pretty deep.
How can I get exactly? Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
it's good to aim for as well, right? So
Exactly.
kind of like I suppose the older you get, like in your career as well, you try and kind of like gravitate to. At the start,
To
you go,
your
I'll
core
just work
beliefs.
for anyone.
Yeah.
I'll just go out and get
Yeah,
that next
true.
job. You know, big brand. And then as you start to move further down your career, you go, okay, right, I need to try to move a little bit more to this. Like, what do I love? What can I get paid for? And what
Yeah,
does
what
what
do
does
I
the world
love?
need? Right.
Yeah.
So there's all those sorts of different things, and but that doesn't necessarily mean I need to go and work for like a charity in Africa or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you nearly
like,
did.
Exactly.
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Literally
That's
nearly
another
did.
story. But like, I could be working like for Pepsi. I want to work in
Yeah.
football. I get to work on the sponsorship team. Then I get
Yeah.
to work with global football superstars, and I get to work on cutting edge campaigns. And the world needs entertainment, right? So again,
Yes.
those campaigns. So
Yeah.
that could be one way. So it doesn't have to be like virtuous and all that sort of stuff. There is an element of kind of like staying true to kind of like a career part that's something tangible rather than aloof. And,
Yeah.
I think
like
that is
that.
one because I think my career has been honestly like a bit of a mix of everything. Agencies, whatever. People are like, I don't really know what you did. Did you do hotels? Did you do whatever? So I don't know. Do you guys?
You've done quite a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I'm just a bit crazy, and I go to different groups and agencies.
But I think marketeers are like that. Both of you
They
have
are,
similar
because you want
backgrounds.
something
You're both
hungry.
adventurous,
Yeah.
want to look
But do you
for-
think it's good to have, like, let's say someone really wants to work and travel. Should they always work and travel that whole way up?
Well,
Or what do you think?
Well, there's two ways. Some people just like that, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm just like, not that I don't get bored quickly, but like kind of that red thread for me is innovation, right? So
Yeah.
like,
That's
it's
it,
kind of
it's
like,
about
yeah.
thing,
kind of like,
It's
kind of-
momentum. Keep moving forward.
What can I
Yeah.
do that's new? What can I do that's challenging? Kind of
Yeah.
like, how can I establish that as well? And I also like the idea of working from vertical to vertical as well, right? So kind
Yeah.
of like, what can you do across that? But like, if you just only want to work and travel, that's totally fine as well, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I've always liked the idea of just being sort of like T-shaped, right? So kind of like, started off with a specialism, so kind of like work my way through that, and then start to tick all those other boxes as well.
Yeah.
Like, so how can I kind of like, the reason I kind of went to Superdrug is I didn't really have a huge amount of e-commerce behind me as well, right? So I've done like big brands for a long, and I've been focused on digital, but brand digital, and then like having the opportunity to come in and kind of like work for a massive e-commerce business and do that was brilliant. And then sort of the retail media bit is actually the bit that's kind of allowed me to access all those T-shaped
pieces.
kind
Yeah,
of skills
cool.
as well. Like, so
Yeah.
that I understand how big brands work, how agencies work, and all that as well. So those things have sort of like prepared me for current role, basically. Yeah.
We're in a very challenging environment in the UK. That's what a lot of people are saying. But pharma and beauty seems to be kicking ass just in terms of revenue and profits and
interesting,
things. So how is that? How are you finding it at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people, post-COVID, gone back to stores. You know, stores are booming, right? So you had like
experiences.
the lipstick effect as well, right? So kind of like people just kind of like this.
You looked at mine. I actually literally had to go into the store and do this whole experience because I was overwhelmed
this
with
morning?
what lipstick. Not this morning.
No?
Not to get this done today. Sorry, but like when I went and
to
chose
say.
one recently, I was like, I'm going to
it's the
go to
whole thing.
I'm going to Superdrug. Plug there, but I'm going to go like do the whole experience and ask them about it. Versus TikTok is just too much at the moment
it's
for
too
me.
much content
It is.
overload.
So I do want to go in and try them on.
Yeah,
like,
well,
It's
testers.
psychology as well. If you get a lipstick from a certain brand, you'll keep going back to that brand.
Yeah.
It's that whole psychology piece.
Yeah,
That's
they're
what it's
tactile things, and you want to try on different shades,
Yeah.
and and it's a fun place to hang out on weekends if you're
Yeah.
in a younger cohort as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been into Superdrug once and it was like absolutely manic and I just had to get out once because it was just so busy.
There's lots of, it's like,
I love it, especially because it's pink.
But that's good that there's it's always busy though, which is great. Always super busy whenever
Thankfully,
I go.
yeah, super busy.
Super,
yeah.
And
yeah.
you managed a lot of teams then, I guess, as well.
Sure.
So what do you feel is the kind of biggest thing that you learned about yourself when managing teams?
The biggest thing I learned about myself is maybe I'm too nice.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that.
Okay.
yeah.
I think it's a great quality to have in a boss. I think
Yeah.
it's a great quality.
Yeah. I've never been taken advantage of, maybe, but like, maybe I
Not a
have.
night out.
I like
though.
it.
Except for that one
but
guy.
I'm quite easygoing, right?
Yeah.
Quite easygoing. I'd like to think that I'm easygoing, approachable, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Which has its pluses and minuses, I suppose, as well. Like, so I'm not a boss that anyone fears. When
That's
they're-
a nice
That's
thing to
good,
be
yeah.
like.
Because people want a mentor as well, and they look up to you essentially.
but I've had bosses that I've been not afraid of.
Do you need help?
No, but like have
Same.
been on the other side, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, brilliant
Yeah.
boss. You're like,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of a personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're nearly at the end. So
Yeah,
you've
I've got
your
some
60
quick fire
seconds.
questions.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's never
So
60
be
seconds,
prepared.
So
Sure.
Okay, so first question.
Hit me.
So what's the most important trend in digital marketing right now?
Most important trend. Well, I don't know if it's important. It's sort of like
Quick fire.
so it's TikTok shopping.
yeah.
TikTok
Oh,
shopping.
yeah.
What's one digital tool you can't live without?
Digital tool. I can't know. Google Analytics.
Google
Yeah.
Love
Analytics.
that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge in digital marketing today?
Measurement.
Measurements.
Yeah, fair.
How do you keep up with the ever-changing digital landscape?
Your newsletter.
Yes!
Did you
Straight
have
to my heart.
Yeah.
Straight to my heart.
Chat.
The Digital Leaders Club newsletter.
Yeah. Okay.
Invite
So,
only?
And digital cheesecake.
what's one mistake most brands make in their marketing strategy?
Spreading themselves too thin.
Yeah. If you had to pick one platform to market on, which one would it be?
Just one platform to market on. Social. I know. Yeah.
Social?
Yeah.
Cool.
If you could delete one social platform from the internet forever,
Oh, God.
which one would it be?
I liked them all.
Just the one deleted.
Threads.
Threads.
Oh,
that's a
fair.
good answer. I like
That's
that
a
answer.
good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Long
yeah.
form content or short form content? Which one wins your heart?
Long form.
Yes.
Me too.
Influencer marketing, hit or miss?
Hit.
Yeah.
Hit.
Oh, I love it.
What's the most underrated marketing channel?
Radio.
Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We have the radio.
Paid ads or organic reach? What do you prefer?
Paid ads, they're different. Paid ads are, it depends. I need to be diplomatic on that one. Yeah.
Do you secretly stalk your competitors' ads to see if they're better than yours?
Well, not necessarily if they're better. We just keep an eye on them. Yeah.
I hate the word stalk.
yeah.
Definitely stalk.
Keep
Okay,
it
cool.
close
Google ads or Facebook ads? Which do you prefer?
Facebook ads.
Facebook ads. Cool.
Cool.
Lovely. Well, Paul, thanks a lot for
Ooh,
coming to
thank
the Digital
you.
Cheesecake
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
It's good to have you.
Great
Thanks
to
for
have
having
you.
And guys, if you, this is for you to remember, please subscribe to Spotify,
Follow,
Digital
thank
Cheesecake,
you.
and then also go to our website and sign up to our newsletter.
Cool.
I'll see you next time.
Thank you.